one. Everybody, welcome to another episode of ArmTalk. I'm your host, Jody Williams, and today my special guests are, and before I get into that, you got to understand something, because how often does a person have not one, but two world champions on the show? Here we are, Jolene Anderson, world champion, Madison Walker, world champion, and the man behind the whole thing that makes this thing go round and round for this event come October 26th, Steve Fernandez. Everyone, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us
you.
on, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So let's start from the beginning, because Steve, I had you on the show last week. We kind of touched base on the event with the City Slickers versus the Country Folk, and I like the theme. Now, girls, you guys got center stage today because you have a super match, one-on-one, world champion versus world champion, and if I'm not mistaken, there's $500 on the line, correct?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Jolene, I'll let you. I'll go ahead and let you open it, and then we'll go ahead and go to Madison. So tell me something. How did this match come about?
Steve reached out to me. I don't know Madison, but I always love a challenge. So I listened to a podcast, and she was saying that her dad was arm wrestler, and so I was really excited to pull her because my dad got me into the sport. And yeah, it's only 8 hours to drive there, right?
So Madison, same thing to you. I mean, how was this match proposed to you?
So Steve reached out to me a while ago, and proposed it to me, and he was trying to find a woman from Montana that would want to go against me or would accept the match. And we had a bit of a hard time to find someone. So I was a little discouraged, and then Steve was like, nope, I got someone. And I was like, okay. I was like, so yes, I've only known it was going to be a Jolene probably for like a couple weeks now. So
nice.
Yeah.
And Steve, since you're the Dana White of this whole operation over here, and you told us last week that Team City Slickers are going to be a big group. They're all heading over. You told me how everything's going to be laid out when y'all head west to Montana. But the one thing I really don't know, and maybe Jolie can help me out, who is on Country Folk, Team Country Folk? I have no idea who's on there.
I actually don't know. So I don't even know where I'm staying, but the City Slickers seem like they kind of have it all figured out, which is super awesome. I just didn't want Madison to go without somebody to pull. So I'm just making the travels. I actually don't even have a place to stay yet. That's going to be this weekend's project. So
yeah, we're like a week out, aren't we?
Yeah.
Great Falls, Montana, October 26th. Do we know who's is it going live? I mean, what are we doing here? Steve, do you know anything about that?
Yeah, so it's going to be live streamed. The super match is going to be live streamed on October 26th on the M Spot. And we're actually doing a live stream starting October 24th at 2 a.m. Eastern time. And that's going to be great because that's going to be a show. And the show's going to go on till Sunday, till we leave, and then we come back to as well, back to New York. And then everybody comes back to the house, gets in their cars, and then they go home. But in general, it's going to be live streamed through the whole thing. But the super match is going to be live streamed through the M Spot on October 26th.
Wow, y'all got like an itinerary and everything, So, ladies, get ready. Here come the questions. Madison, I'll start with you.
Oh,
now,
okay.
You got this match started. You're pulling a world champion. $500. What does that mean to you?
I better bring it. That's all I can say. I just graduated, so I haven't pulled anyone that is that high caliber in a while. So since I've been on the world stage, and that was only when I started 4 months into the sport. So I'm very excited about this match. Nervous, of course, but I'm excited. So the money, of course, would be nice, but the experience is what it is. So.
Oh, it's a twofer, right? And here's the thing. And Jolene, you said your dad got you in the sport. Madison's dad. And I'm going to say something. Because I met you guys back at the IFA Worlds in 2021. And he's that guy you want to have in your corner. But he's also that guy you don't want to disappoint. So I know. Is your dad going, by the way?
No, he won't be, but he'll be watching.
My dad's going.
Oh, see,
Aw.
all right, cool.
Yeah.
There you go. So here's the deal, right? Steve Walker, he's that guy right there, and you can hear him miles away. You can hear him from one convention center to another because he's that motivated. I've seen him on stage at Knuckles Up, and I think it was Merlene in her corner for an event, you know. So don't worry, he'll be shouting out of the house and stuff, and then you'll be hearing him, so you'll know what to do and stuff. So,
Yes.
Jolene, same question to you. Now you get to go against another world champion, right? So what does this mean to you?
I'm excited. I love a super match. I'm a little nervous because they are like, we have walkout music and stuff, and I've never done that. You know, I kind of just go to the stage, I kind of set the tone there. But I have to walk out by myself and have my song playing. So it's different.
Right.
But
Well, hey, I mean, you know what? I mean, think about it. I know it's nothing that's normal, but when you have caliber pullers like you two and been on the world stage before, and it's like, okay, you know what? Y'all have earned that. You deserve that, you know? So yeah, take it all in. I mean, you guys, Steve, are they the main event? Yes or no?
They're not going to be the main event. I would say they're going to be a main event in my eyes, you know, just for the fact that I know the way they both pull, you know. I didn't we were going through a lot of people, but you know, I also want to thank Jolene for taking this on, you know, in such a short notice and being able to, you know, really settle down and really not it didn't take really long for you to make a decision, which I really appreciate that. A lot of the women that I asked before weren't anywhere near as confident as Jolene was, nowhere near. I mean, they were, I would say, scared. Literally, 3 to 4 of them that they picked were scared. They didn't want to pull. Which, look, if that's what you have and you're scared to pull and because you want to win on this side because they're easier to beat on that side, and you don't want to come to this side, you're never going to get any better. But I respect Jolene a lot for taking this match. Especially because Maddie's an absolute monster, you know, and I knew I had to find somebody really good for it. It's not somebody I could just pick out of nowhere. So Jolene taking this on is a big hand for her, but vice versa with Maddie too. You know, like you said, these are 2 world champions that are going up against each other, and they're going to put a show on. I think it's going to be one of the best matches there.
And I'm gonna say something now to you girls. I ain't giving out secrets because, okay, Jolene, we saw you pulling Todzilla at Bob's Barn not too long ago, so ain't no secrets, okay? However, I've seen both y'all pull in person, right? I'm not picking a winner. I'm just going to tell you what I see with my own eyes. You know, Jolene, we've been to tournaments before at the same place, whether it be Utah, Nevada, what have you. And Steve, when you pick Jolene, awesome. I'm going to tell you why. I've seen her. I know this. Pull guys, whether it be after pull or what have you, and I can see her put the boots to people. So I'm telling you, she's coming with the thunder. So Madison, be ready. On the flip side, I've seen Madison pull. Now, it was a few years ago, but I've seen you pull. And I've seen also video and the intensity that you bring with that power, you know. Yes, on the outside, hey, I teach 5th graders. We know deep down, you know, you bring the power and you bring that intensity that a walker should have. So I know this. So, Steve, I got to say, I can't applaud you for the effort of getting these 2 ladies together because
Thanks,
I
man.
assure you, all the ladies will be watching YouTube come October 26th. Now, from that standpoint, with all the ladies watching, how does that make y'all feel? Madison, you go first.
I'm excited. I want to get to the next level in the sport, but I would have to travel to do so, which I'm doing now. So I think it's just going to be a stepping stool. This is going to be a very hard step, but I'm excited. Because women, it's very hard. They're either like beginners or they're like really good. So like it's hard to find like that elite level. So I'm very excited, and I just have to take one match at a time. So.
Do you find it difficult to practice with a lot of ladies around your area or even go to tournaments in the Northeast where, okay, you know, you may have 2 or 3 ladies, you know? Do you find that difficult?
Yes, I only arm wrestle men. I arm wrestle the same women, the same 3 women at every tournament I usually go to, and it's
Michelle.
very hard.
Yep. And
Yeah.
so
Mich- So it's hard. Like Steve knows, I go to all Steve's tournaments, and he knows that I only pull the same girls, and there's only like one or two of us. But with men, that's all I work out with is men. So.
Yeah, I'll warm her up and stuff. You know what I mean? Just for she's got a hell of a hand, man. It's like Steve's mini hand is really what it is. You know what I mean? It's because it's his daughter. She's got what he's got. And he's she's absorbed a lot, and I see this match going really good. Honestly, because both of you girls really pull very, very, both top rollers from what I see. You know what I mean? And I've seen Jolene pull a couple different ways, and but in general, I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the middle. I think it's going to be the jump, to tell you the truth. I think whoever gets it on the go is the one that's going to get it. So yeah, I'd be really prepared on both of you girls and see who's going to jump first, because that's, I think, who's going to get it. That's how good this match is going to be.
Nice. So in the chat, we got Paul Stevens, we got the Drew, we got Archdog, we got the Nightmare, and the Nightmare is just pumping you up, Madison. Just so we know.
Oh, thank you.
So we got USS Liberty, never forget, in the chat. Nat Fitz in the chat. What's going on, everybody?
Brian Paul,
man. There you go, Jolene. We all know where you live at. We all know the kind of caliber of athletes around there in Utah. I'm not sure it's in the water. I had my man Scott on the show last week. You train with. Let's see here. You can go, oh, there's Bob Brown there. Justin Green behind me. Oh, there's Cody Merritt there. Jordan still this way. So you're surrounded with all kind of talent. And like I said, we all know the famous Bob's Barn.
Yeah, it's like amazing because everyone wants to come pull with Bob. So like you said, we had Todd Zilla. We had Sarah Bachman come. So as long as I make the drive to Bob's, I can pull anybody. It's pretty amazing.
And everybody, if I'm not mistaken, is in earshot distance from you, right?
Yeah, Bob's is the closest. He's like an hour away. Yeah.
Okay.
A little over an hour to get there, especially in traffic, but it's not terrible.
Now I'm going to ask Madison a question, but I want Jolene to answer. Okay, here we go. Madison, you said you want to go to that next level, but in order to do that, you're going to have to travel. So might be a little close now because, we're like real close to, next week is the event. But if what you're saying is true, I would encourage you, and Jolene, I want you to take the floor once I get done with this question. I would encourage you to go to Brazil Cup, because I'm telling you, the ladies of that caliber that go there is astonishing. If you want to up your game from a lady standpoint at tournaments, that's the place you need to go. I'm gonna go like that because I'm gonna let Jolene explain it to you. Jolene, you have the floor. Explain.
Bob's tournament is super awesome. I mean, he does the 3 and out because he doesn't do amateurs at all. He doesn't believe in that. And so we get 3 opportunities to lose. But everyone that comes is super awesome. And then you have the tournament and you get to after pull after at his place. And we get pizza and we have drinks. And it's just such a good time. Everyone loves to pull everyone. We all learning and teaching. And it's just a good time.
Now, explain that, Madison. This is not intimidating. I want you to understand where we're going with this, because I see very, very young, very, very talented. I see down the road that you can make some noise. And I'm just trying to help you out. Jolene, also explain to Madison the caliber of pullers from the ladies that attend the Brazil Cup in November.
We've had Sarah Bachman. We have Gabby came. Leerin comes. Danielle comes. There's Sarah McKinney has come. There's so many. So it's kind of a waiting game this time. I don't know who's all coming. I think we're just all really busy with our lives, but I think that November 16th, everyone is looking forward to. So I would see it as a big turnout.
Now, in reverse, Steve, are there any events out there where the ladies can really show up? Because how sometimes when if you're an organizer or a promoter, and what you try to do is get that one match to set the stage, and then everything trickles down. Is there a tournament on the East Coast that, let's just say, hey, Jolene, guess what? You and Maddie had a knockout match. We'd love to have you come on the East Coast. Would that draw more ladies? Like, okay, if Jolene came, all of a sudden Michelle Dugan's like, you know what? I'm feeling pretty good. I might come out there and see what I got against Jolene, because when you have athletes that live on opposite sides of the country, you know, they don't get together as often. So is there opportunities somewhere down the road where that can happen on the East Coast?
Yeah, we actually already spoke to Maddie actually when we come back from Montana that we might actually be already setting up another super match depending on how comfortable she feels. So, and I always want to make sure, you know, I give the best to the best. And I know Maddie to me around here is the best, you know what I mean, when it comes to her touch and her weight class and everything she needs to do, honestly. So I'm just waiting for her to, like she said, till we get more women again here. You know, like we had Nadia come to the last one, but you know she always shows love. Nadia's great. She's she didn't pull though. We had Dusan, I think it was from Japan, that you also pulled that King of the Tri-State Arnold's Classic qualifier, Maddie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, some girls show up, you know, we don't really know them, but they're really strong. But it's just that I want to bring that in a little bit more to have more super matches. So there'll be more exposure for women. You know, so
Yes.
if we get back and everything goes the way it's supposed to, she should have a super match. I don't want to say her name yet. We'll see whatever happens with Maddie.
Don't say the name yet. I don't even want to know the name yet.
Hey, Steve, when the show's over, you can message me and then we'll just go from there. I won't say anything,
Let me
but-
have one name in my mind right now, but let's not have another one.
So yeah, so we're gonna wait to see how she feels when she gets back. If she's solid, and she feels good, and you know, it should be at the end of November before at the Battle of the B Dubs I'm helping out Jarrett with. So we already think we already have like 8 or 9 matches going on that day, super matches. So we're trying to get 10 all together, but it's hard to have everybody that we want there, and they're all fantastic super matches we came up with. But I'd love to have another women's super match there. I just think you got to have at least 1 or 2 women's super matches, you know, to your other, you know, 9 or 10 or 5 that you have, you know, wherever you're having them. You have to expose as much as you can because there aren't too many women pullers out here. And Maddie trains with guys all the time. She trains with Ray all the time. He's an absolute fucking beast at 198. You know what I mean? So she's used to these guys' hands, these man hands all the fucking time. So once she rips up with a girl, I don't think she feels dominated at all whatsoever because, or even tries to even feel like it's different because she's always pulling guys, always pulling men, you know? So unless a girl's going to have a much, you know, tighter grip or stronger, which 90% of the time they're usually not, but on the other side, she's training with fucking Ray. Ray's an absolute beast, or Steve is an absolute monster. These guys they're on a different level. You know what I mean? You know that, you know, so it's just when she's training with those type of people, and I've seen what she can do, and she can put people out real easily, you know, same size and everything else with that type of, you know, being world, you know, having a world title and everything else. Not saying that Jolene's going to be like that because I see this match going into, I see this match to tell you the truth to be one of the best ones. I think it's going to be a 3-2 either way. That's what I think. I mean, I think it's going to be a battle going back and forth. So, like I said, whoever hits first is whoever's going to get this. That's what I think. So that's what we're trying to, you know, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put the best super matches together, especially with women. And we'll see what happens at the end of November. If she feels good at the end of October, we'll see what we have coming for her at the end of November.
Okay, so I have a question with the City Slickers. Are you guys just traveling and doing super matches and country folk is following you, or how did this come about?
So this came about of speaking on Dan's podcast, and we had a conversation. It was just Josh Wilson and someone else, and we were having a conversation, and really Josh told us that we should team up, you know, have a Montana thing versus New York thing. And I said, well, I have New York Tri-State Arm Wrestling. I got a bunch of guys here that I can bring, you know, over there. And we were actually going to do New York first, and then we switched over, and we ended up doing it in Montana. So we were like, okay, so we're going to do that. And I don't want to say anything yet because I have to come up with the logo for the name. But this is going to be, we're going to be traveling state to state with all these guys that we have now. If they win, if they don't win, they're off the team. They'll have somebody else, a new person that's going to be coming on, and they'll be taking their spot. That's if somebody else doesn't think that the last person that was on there wants to have a super match with them and can beat them, they can pay their way back in to the league and come with us at the next day, enjoy themselves at the mansion, and obviously, you know, have a hell of a time, you know, getting picked up in a party bus, partying 2 hours down to the JFK. You know, this is going to be an event for 4 to 5 days every single time. So there's going to be pullers that are going to want to come on this journey. They're going to want to come on the show. They're going to be part of this super match series /show so they can see what it's all about, you know? But that's what we're really going to end up doing, So anybody that loses, let's just say whoever loses would be out. Somebody else comes back in on their spot. If they think they can beat the guy that I brought back into their new spot, they can challenge them for a super match, whatever it is, to buy themselves back in, and they can come in for the next one. That's if they beat them.
So if I win Madison, do I have an opportunity to go around with you guys?
You do.
Okay.
Ooh.
Curious.
Hey, and you know what? The way Steve explained that last week, and I was like, that's kind of intimidating because I'm picturing myself if I did that and I didn't win. I'm like, oh damn, I'm at the end of the line, right? And then you almost like want to, and I shouldn't say this, but you almost want to hope somebody loses. That way, it puts you up another notch so you can get closer to get back on the team, right?
Exactly.
But if you win, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But y'all world champions, you just go, hey, I'm a world champion. You don't tell me what to do. Whatever, that kind of stuff. Ladies, here's a question. Anytime I have a lady athlete on my show, I got to ask them this, okay? Now, both of you are used to training with guys who have a thicker hand, a bigger hand, a wider hand, what have you, longer fingers. Then come tournament time, you're pulling ladies, which is like, oh, it's the same kind of hand as you. And you're like going, oh, ref, just say go. Do you know who I train with? Just say go. I train with Steve Walker. I train with Bob Brown. Just say go. Does that ever enter your mind? Jolene, does that enter your mind?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I grip on with Cody Merritt. All the guys that we pull with, they have a bigger hand than I do. So it's usually a battle when we pull, and it's just practice, but I feel pretty confident when I grip up with the ladies.
Madison, what do you think? Do you find the same feeling that, once you grip up with the guys during practice, you're like going, okay, I'm getting the work in. And then come tournament time, it's like, oh, what's going on here? And you're just like loading up, ready to just take off on the go. You feel the same way?
No, actually, I don't know if it's because I don't have as much experience, but every single time I grip up with someone, I think they're the strongest person in the world. So until I win and I'm like, oh, okay, like I need to realize that. So I go hard no matter what. It does. And like that's the thing is like I'll grip up with someone that just said they just started and I'm going 100 because that doesn't seem like your hand feels as absolute strong as anything. Like I'm going 100. I'm like, oh, maybe they were just starting. So like I really don't know. Like I just go 100 no matter what.
Usually I can tell the difference, like, and I'll just take it slow, a slow win. But yeah, I can hear it when you're scared and you don't know. You don't know.
Yeah, because I just don't know if it is I'm just used to gripping up with a guy or if I'm just like not familiar. Because girls try to intimidate you and they try to squeeze your hands super hard. So they feel so strong. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going 100 now too. So, but that's the one thing that I say I have to get like used to is that for sure. So no, I can't tell.
Well, you also got to realize, and this question is kind of like I'm asking y'all like years later, but when did it really sink in that it's a two-part question? First question, when did it sink in that, wow, I'm a world champion? When did that sink in for you, Madison? When did it sink in?
Well, I won my world titles only 4 months in. And then I went back to college and then I was only arm wrestling in the summer. And then now that I just graduated, I feel like I need to prove that again because I know how strong I am and I know how many women I can beat. I just have to do it again. So like that's like my standpoint is now I'm in this full time. But there will be sometimes like, wow, like I do have that title. Like I need to start having that confidence in myself. But also like I feel like I have to prove it again. Because new women are in this sport. Like there's a lot of new women. When I won, there wasn't this many women there. And I am one of the youngest. So it's interesting.
And right now, according to Archdog, he says your hair looks like silk, whatever that means. So, Jolene, same thing. How many world titles do you have, by the way?
Just the one first place left-handed.
Okay. So, for you, when did it sink in that like, man, I'm a world champion? When did that sink in for you? When was that moment?
I don't know if it has happened yet. I mean, just like she said, you still have to prove yourself. And I don't know if that's just being a woman in the sport. I'm always trying to look for something better and bigger. I did grow up with WAF, So going to IFA was different for me.
Mhm.
I loved the atmosphere, and I liked going, and I don't know if I'll go back or not. But I just kind of wish there wasn't two worlds. Maybe
I don't even want to get into that right now because yeah, I don't want to get into that right now. So it's kind of like, all right. But Maddie, your worlds came in the States. Luck of the draw, right?
I know. Like the first one I was going to, it had to be in the States. I was so mad. I'm not gonna lie. I was really excited to travel.
Jolene, did you win yours in France? Yes.
Yeah.
Take us back to that experience, and because now it's like, and here's the thing, I am not, because I went to IFA Worlds that year too, 2021, Orlando, Florida, and I tell people this because, you know, I got a second place world medal sitting out here in my box over here, and I tell people that, hey, you know what, understanding the circumstances back then, because we were still coming off the pandemic. A lot of athletes were not able to leave their countries per se. I mean, it was basically like a nationals with, you know, some countries sprinkled in like Canada, Taiwan, Mexico, Brazil, and that have you. But, you know, as the years go on, IFA has gotten bigger and bigger. Now more countries are able to compete. More people are able to leave their own countries. So, Jolene, when you went to France, take us back, explain the atmosphere.
It was at a sports bar, which was cool, just chill. And everyone was still kind of together. I pulled 2 USA girls, so that was kind of a bummer. I mean, they're awesome, they're amazing, but I want to go to Worlds to pull other ladies. But the after pull was phenomenal. We stayed up till 3 a.m. pulling. The bar actually kicked us out. So you cannot pull anymore. But yeah, it was just great. I feel like no matter how different you are as a person, we all have the love of the sport. And so we will just always arm wrestle.
Nice. And I knew the atmosphere in 2021. And like I say, it was more like a national. And, you know, the guy I lost to was from Brazil, but he lived in the States. So, you know, go figure. Now, the second question, getting back to that double question, the second part was this. Now, when you girls go to tournaments, do you feel that because you are who you are, you got that world title behind your name, do you feel pressure? Do you feel like there's a bullseye on you? I'll ask you first, Jolene.
I don't know if I'd say a bullseye. I know a lot of ladies want to pull me. But I don't know. It is what it is. I'm the best in Utah. So I know all the Utah ladies.
Hey, ring that bell. Ring that bell.
But I don't know. I like to pull. So even if they were after me, all they'd have to do is say, hey, I want to pull. I say, okay.
That sounds simple.
Yeah, it is.
Now, Madison, I sense that you're kind of more reserved like that. I'm still young, you know. I want to get to the top, but I'm going to go ahead and pick my way and earn my stripes as I go up this mountain. Do you feel there's any bullseye on you? Because I know you got a lot going on because you won your world title, went back to school, did your softball, that kind of stuff. So now it's like, okay, now school's done. And now you could probably have more training than you were, you know, a few years back. Is there a bullseye on you, do you think, or no?
I think a lot of people want to pull me now that they've seen what I can do after college. And I know Steve can attest to that. Like ever since I graduated and pulled in these now tournaments, they're like, wow, like I want Maddie now. So like I've already got people saying, commenting and all that they want me next. But so I do feel that bullseye, but like I said, I go to every tournament to pull any girl and to just win. So that's just, every match is different. Any given day I could lose, any given day I can win. So
Yeah, she wins all the time though.
Does it go like this? Watch this. I'm going to be you for a second.
oh boy.
Hello? Hey. Yeah, this is Maddie. Uh-huh. You're going to have to talk to my agent, Steve. Yeah. Get your people to call my people, and then maybe we can set something up. Talk to you soon. Bye. Steve, is that how it goes? What we doing here? Is that how that goes?
Honestly, a lot of the times I am looking matches for Maddie, so I cannot say that I'm not. So I'd have to say I am. And look, I do agree with Maddie to a point that she does have somewhat of a bullseye on her back with people that either one pulled her or want to pull her, that are on that higher stage. Now, and I really don't want to call anybody out. I have the name on the tip of my tongue, but I don't want to say anything. You know who exactly I'm talking about, but I'm Maddie, but I'm not going to say anything. But
I'm not going to say nothing either. So
I feel like it's just us four. We could say it.
oh, no.
I'm
We
like
got-
the
hey,
person that
hey,
I'm like, no,
we
no,
got
no.
people
Like, I don't want
watching.
it. And Steve's like,
Yeah.
no, say it.
so,
You see how Maddie's like, hey, keep me out of this.
Just turn my camera
and there's
off.
people that don't want to pull her, don't want to pull her because they have something to lose, from what they've won, recently or before, or because, obviously they think that they're the best at that, I'd say stage right there and then. But in general, when I ask people, for Maddie for a match that are on that, I would say a mediocre to higher level, they don't want to pull her. They don't want to pull her. They feel like that. And the reason why they don't want to pull her, they're making up bullshit. Like you just said, I pulled for WAF. Now I pull for IFA. It doesn't really fucking matter. You pulled on both levels and you still pulled on both girls on both ways. So it doesn't really matter. You can do that. So it's just, there's the excuses after, it's not, she doesn't weigh that much anymore. She's only 154. She's not 155. And I'm sitting there going, she just pulled at 175. And then somebody else told me that she just pulled at a tournament at 180. So it's not about, weight or it's more about you're scared. And I get it. I understand. No problem. But at the same time, you can't be going out and trying to really compete, with other people if you're never going to get any better with just trying to beat all the same people all the time. And that's what I agree with Maddie, her going out there, she's got to travel to beat all these other better people. And I give Jolene so many fucking props because she was just like, who? I was like, Maddie. I was like, who? And I'm like,
I think because you said Maddie instead of Madison, that might have wait, who?
No, I said Madison Walker. She knows what I'm talking about. It's just a conversation. She was still like, who? And I was like, look, it's going to be a really good match for you. It's $500 on the line. It's going to be in Montana.
So who has the money for all this? I mean, who's putting the money out?
For this match, I'll be putting the money out for this match.
Oh, so you are Madison's agent. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Here we go. You know what'd be funny? And I ain't trying to stir the pot. I got my coffee, but I ain't trying to stir it. Wouldn't that be funny? So here's Steve. Let's just say the agent for Madison, right? Maddie's like, hey, talk to my agent. All I got to do is pull whatever. Won't it be funny if Bob Brown was watching this and goes, hey, Jolene, I saw your show with Jody on there, and I'll match that offer with $500. Oh, can you imagine that? Don't think Bob wouldn't do anything like that because I know Bob. He would do something like that. Would he not, Jolene?
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and tag him. It's fine.
Hey.
Bob Brown and my dad. Bob Brown and my dad and my Uncle Mike have been friends since they were little. So.
Well, Bob Brown's from the East Coast originally, isn't he? Yeah. So I mean, there's something to be said. But I want to make a comment to what Steve was saying. So before I go into my rant, I want to say, ladies, excuse my language. Maddie, if you got your folks watching, excuse me. Jolene, if you got your folks watching, tell them I said I'm sorry, but I'm going to say this. So, Steve, the fuck you mean people are saying they don't want to pull because they don't want to lose? Did we not get into the sport to compete? What the fuck are we doing? Because I'm going to tell you what. I know firsthand. Jolene does not care. She just wants to compete. If I lose, I lose. It's part of the game. But I'll be damned if I lose again to the same person. Here's Madison. I grew up in a competitive household, right? It happens. I'm not scared of competition. Why are so many pullers act like that? What are we doing over here? What the hell's going on? Can someone tell me? Because that's the dumbest thing I ever thought. You get into the sport to compete, knowing that, yes, there's training teams or, depending on where you live at, it's called training clubs, right? But at the end of the day, once you hop on that table, it's you and your opponent and nobody else. So when you get into the sport, you know that, hey, it's a one-on-one thing. But then you hear that. I know this for a fact, Steve, because I get it, time and time again, too, from other factions or whatnot. And they sit there, they want to protect their standing or rating or rank or where the fuck, and it's like going, what are we doing here? We got into the sport to compete. Why are we not doing this?
Yeah, I couldn't say it better, man. I just don't understand what is the matter with people. If you're not going to try to compete
Hi,
up against
Candy.
it's just you're not going to be able to do anything. You're not going to be able to move to the next level. You know what I mean? You're just, and don't get me wrong. I'm not, if you want to do what you got to do, it's if you're scared, maybe you should get out of the sport or go down to a lower weight class, or I don't know. I have no idea. But at the same time, if, like you said, if you get into the sport, you want to be the best and you want to make sure that you're going up against the best, to do that, and it's funny. It reminds me of my buddy Sergio, because he was in amateurs for a little bit. And he was way too good to be an amateur. And I told him this. And he goes, nah, man, I was like, win what, another fucking 37 medals? And he starts laughing. And I was just like, dude, I was like, you're holding people. You're holding me center. I was like, and you're not really trying. You're not even hitting. So I was like, so if you're holding me center, you're not even hitting. I was like, that's a problem. And he goes, you think? And I'm like, so he started pulling pros.
Hey, tell him to quit being a weirdo.
Dude, he's absolutely fucking phenomenal. He's one of the best fucking 154 pros out there right now. He's right underneath. Not, I would say right underneath. He's right with Doble, because I think he beats Doble right and Doble beats him left or something like that. But either way, he's on that level. And he's reached that level just by having that push and be able to move and see what the difference is. And that's what you need to do. You need to open yourself up to make sure that don't drag it on. Take the next step and see what happens. You'll never know what you're going to do. But if you don't ever, you're never going to get to that next level. Don't think you're going to be better than anybody else. Then that's going to be in that crew, because if we go out of state, you're going to get your ass fucking whooped. You know what I mean? So it's just always strive to be better. Doesn't matter if you lose. You're always going to get better. That's the main thing, so I honestly, I praise you, Jolene, for taking the match without a problem. I like people like that. I like blunt people like that. I love people that are just automatically, you know what I mean? So it's just, and Maddie she didn't have a problem. She was like, whoever. So it's just the fact that they both were, down and they were both open to do it. Shows a lot of respect from both sides, honestly.
It's because, sorry to jump in, but like how I think of it is I was always played sports. Like you don't learn unless you lose. Like as anyone that follows my like Facebook and my mom's Facebook, like I was a power hitter. So like I couldn't hit home runs if I didn't strike out all those times before, because I went back to the cage and I worked. So like this match, if I win, great. I get more exposure, more people want to go after me. If not, I'm going to go back to the gym, work even harder, and just better myself. So at the end of the day, you lose, you actually are winning. So
you up
you go back home and you analyze the match.
Exactly.
Yes. Video, you sit back and view everything.
Yeah.
Madison, this is going to happen to you sooner rather than later, right? You say you want to get to the top. Can I tell you a little story?
Sure.
Because it involves Jolene. Now.
No.
No. You'll love this one. Because the story I'm going to tell, it's going to sink in. Maddie's going to be like, okay, I get it now. All right. Steve, kick back. Listen to the story. 2022, in the middle of nowhere, Nevada, right? The Kenny Bostic Memorial. Jolene, start smiling because you know what I'm about to say. All right. Madison, take notes. There was a match. Now think about this for a second. Think of the prep. I'm going to set the stage and then think about this. There was a match, ladies division, right? Jolene's at the table. Her opponent is Angie Rose. Bob Brown is yelling instructions. Stay tight to Jolene. Ron Bath is in Angie's corner saying, hey, don't let her get the jump on you. Take a step back and think about that for a second. Those are the matches you want. Everybody involved, those are the matches you want. Jolene's up there. She's all serious, she's got her hair pulled back, Angie is probably one of the most intense people I've seen on the table, and they're about to go at it. And you got legendary people in their corner yelling instructions, right? Those are the matches you want. So when you say, hey, I want to get better and stuff, I want to get, to the top, I want to be the best, those tournaments, that's the kind of stuff you're going to get to. If by chance you go to the Brazilian Cup in November every year, Midvale, Utah, cheers to you. I think it's still called that. I assure you, every single match will be just like that. Now, I can't, like, again, I can't stress enough that how exciting this match is. I cannot stress enough that a lot of ladies, Candy's watching on the show. Yes, she said iron. See, she even said it. Iron sharpens iron. She even said that, right? So what the point I'm trying to make is that this is probably the biggest match of your life, right, Maddie?
Yeah.
At this point in your early young career, this is the match of your life. Jolene, you've been there and done that, but still, okay, I'm going against the world champion, $500. You know, I can't take her lightly.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm not going to take her lightly.
So the question to both you ladies, without giving away secrets or anything like that, training, getting ready for this, because it's going down next Saturday. 8 days out. Jolene, how are you preparing for this besides trying to find where the hell you're going to stay at next week? How are you preparing for this match?
Yeah, a place to stay would be good. And yeah, just, I don't know. I just do what I normally do and we'll see how it goes. I don't train a specific way. I don't look at the opponent and train a different way. I always train the same way. So if I'm doing heavier weights and then I switch to lighter weights, it doesn't depend on the opponent.
There you go.
So,
Madison, what do you think? Because I don't want you to lose sleep over this. I mean, you have a little bit of advantage because I say that because of this. You guys from the East Coast, you, Steve, Nightmare, Roger Learn, whatever, the whole clique of y'all going to come on a jet airplane or some shit. You're going to roll into Montana, red carpet and everything. And here's Jolene. I don't know who the fuck's on my team. That kind of situation right there. So now, Maddie, I'm going to ask you, and I understand you're busy because now you teach a lot of fifth graders. Your mind is on that. But now that your match is next Saturday, what have you been doing to prepare for this?
I've been training hard. I'm ready. I've been ready. So I'm just excited to show everyone. Because I think I'm a little underestimated. I don't think people know how much I'm going to bring it. So just saying.
Yeah,
It is. Exactly.
too.
Steve, go ahead. No, go ahead. Chime in, Steve. What you got?
I'm just gonna say I think so too. I think she's completely underestimated. I've seen her pull with Michelle and stuff. Michelle Dugan's a world champion, and she's an absolute beast. I mean, there's people that I haven't really seen anybody that hasn't even competed up against Maddie yet. So I just one person, might a little bit but that's maybe about it. And this has been way too long, to not have any kind of competition. So it's Jolene's an absolute monster, so I can't, I'm not saying that to take her lightly or anything like that, or she can go through her. I'm not saying that at all. That's the reason why I called Jolene too, because I could have called whoever, but I'm trying to put a good match together. And I thought this is going to be, different, this is going to tell a little bit more, about Madison and to see if Jolene can still be able to pull, with somebody that's still has a lot of, still is hungry, And Jolene's been doing this for a long time. Same thing with her dad. Same thing vice versa with Maddie's dad. I know Madison and Steve really well. Their whole family, and Steve's an absolute monster. He's a beast. I seen him beat top line Nick Stone. I seen him beat a lot of these guys. That you wouldn't think. He just beat Tank. A couple of years ago at Knuckles Up. He's nobody to be messed with, man. When I see him. And I watch him go up to the table. He takes everybody with no problem. Joe just it's one after another. And with Madison, I see the same thing. I don't see anything with no problem going up there. It's really quick. Sometimes once in a blue moon something might happen, but in general, it's 99% of the time it's taken in. I mean, and Jolene, I've seen her matches are ridiculous. She's a fighter. She knows how to pull inside and out. So I give her a lot of props, but both of you ladies have your work cut out for you, definitely. So I would say, like I said, whoever gets off first is what's going to happen. Whoever gets it on the jump, whoever gets it on the go is the one that's gonna, that's why I'm gonna call this close, like a 3-2, whichever way. I obviously Maddie's my girl. I'm gonna go with Maddie on this one, but she's got her hands full too. They're both world champions, so it's going to be good.
All right, Steve, I'm going to ask you a question, and these were the girls. You really got to pay attention to this. When you have a super match of this caliber, world champions, $500 on the line, who are the referees?
So we're gonna have Brian Parliament from Montana. Brian Parliament is an actually fantastic puller, and not only a puller, but he's all informed with anything and everything that has to do with sponsoring and promoting, and being an actual referee too. He's done it for years, so he's good. He's set, and he's actually a really good guy. I mean, me and him spoke. We already been talking about doing something. Canada versus USA, so we're kind of working on that. But I have to start doing this thing state to state with this team, so we'll see what we'll do with that. But in general, then we have Ray Romanowski for our referee. That's going to be coming. So he's absolutely. I'm saying he's. I would say besides Steve, my head ref at every single one of my events that I have here, as super matches goes or tournaments. He's been with me since day one. And he's an actual fantastic puller too at 198, left and right hand. And he's actually like 2 super matches that are coming up too. So don't count him out as a puller either, because he's great. And Ray Romanowski is actually Matty Walker's training partner. They train all the time together. He's an absolute beast. Steve and Mike McNoyan taught them too. Mike was an absolute monster. So these guys that are all in that family and all together, all the time pulling, it's hard for you not to, eat, leave, sleep, arm wrestling, really what it is, so I give them a lot of props.
Ladies, anytime also you have a super match, there's always that one key factor. Who's going to be in your corner? Now, Maddie, you got the whole tri-state behind you, probably traveling with you. Do you have anybody in your corner during the match?
Actually, no. This will be my first time without my parents and my sister, but I know they are going to be watching, and I'm going to be on the phone with them right before, and I know I have my whole team there, so I'm not too worried at all.
I'll be there. That's all you need.
That's all I need. I'll be so locked in, it's not even funny. So
you can call your dad in between matches. I'll allow it.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to be locked in. I got my agent. He put up the money. Hey, what's up? Jolene, who's going to be in your corner? Because I'll be damned if you don't know who else is on that team, country folks. You tell me who's going to be in your corner.
My dad is coming, so he'll be there.
And here's the thing about that. It's always good when you have somebody that knows you, right, in your corner for a match like that, whether it be somewhere in earshot distance or somewhere in uncharted waters, which – Maddie, you're going to uncharted waters. You're going to be like, the fuck is there to do in Montana? I'm telling you, it's all flat. I'm going to tell you right now, you East Coast people, ain't a lot of tall buildings in Montana. I'm going to tell you right now.
I don't know why. I want to make something clear. Everyone that knows me is like, you're on the city slickers. Like, I live in the country. So I'm South Jersey. I live on like a farm. So I'm not in New York at all. So... yeah.
Well, you're going to get all the farm you need and then some. Because Montana, you're going to be like, damn,
I'm
I can
excited.
see.
I like farmland, so.
It's so damn flat. You can probably roll into Montana and go, I can see from here to Minnesota because it's so goddamn flat, right?
I love it.
There you go. So, but also, I always thought, and this is my experience, when you go to a match and somebody's in your corner, if it's somebody and okay, cool, I trust them, but sometimes they don't know how you pull. They may say, hey, they may recommend something that they would do, but then they're not the same puller as you. So it makes sense when Jolene has her dad, because she knows, my dad knows how I compete. No big deal. It makes sense when Maddie has, Steve. Steve knows how you pull, your style. So it makes sense when it gets to that. You know what I mean? Like, look, Tri-State's in the house today. Look, even Paul Cruz, Maddie is my girl. Jolene, what the hell? Where's Utah at? I mean, I was on here, but where's Utah at?
I don't know.
What is going on? It's Friday. What the hell? Everybody should be off work now.
Paul was supposed to be actually my 243 guy. He was supposed to actually be there. But
what happened?
He's going to the World Series of Arm Wrestling. Yep.
In San Diego.
San Diego.
Hey.
So, but
he can't do both?
What's that?
I guess not.
You
He doesn't want to. I don't know. I asked him. He knows I love him to death. He was my first pick for that weight class, and he was doing it at first. At first, he was doing it, and then he realized he's like, "Fuck, man." He's like, "I got like literally 3," and he had 3 things that was one after another, back to back, and he was like, "I am going to your Arnold's. I'm going to." I forgot 2 more, 1 more, and then he was going to San Diego. So I respect it, man. He's a great guy. He's probably going to be, if we'll see what happens at the 240 weight class around there, he's probably going to be my next guy here. If we do one here in New York, or if we travel somewhere else, I want to try to see if I can work it around him a little bit too. Just because Paul's a great guy. He's an absolute great guy, him and his wife, but he's an absolutely phenomenal fucking puller, man. He's a brick wall.
I've seen him. Trust me, I've seen him. And Paul, I'll see you in San Diego, my friend. I don't know what class you'll be in, but I'll see him down there.
Yeah.
Maddie, do you have a nickname?
They've come up with a nickname for me, and it's kind of funny because I'm just not it. So like they were thinking of something that's like opposite.
Is it this one?
Everyone always yells at me. Yes.
Yeah.
The mad one, mad Maddie, and I'm just not that. So it's funny. But yeah, I guess you can.
They're gonna say her name on the 26th when she's walking out.
Oh boy, like I don't even know. So
everybody had to get a song, to be walking out, a theme song to walking out, and their nickname, to walk out, or they're gonna make one up for you, which you don't want them to.
So I guess we'll find out. So I guess we'll find out when I walk out. I guess.
Yeah. Do y'all get to pick y'all music, or how does that work?
Yes.
Okay, Jolene, what are you coming out to?
Jekyll and Hyde.
You smiling now, but I guarantee you 8 days from now she ain't smiling no more.
I like that.
I almost said Raining Tacos because I jam out to that with my kids all the time. So
there you go.
That's too funny.
Maddie, what song you coming out to?
I picked my Uncle Mike's favorite song that we always worked out to. Is called Monster by Skillet. So that should be hardcore, intimidating, and I'll be ready.
I love that fucking song.
Let's see here. Monster's already been taken for a nickname, but the mad one, and you said it's a total opposite of you. So,
I was thinking like Mad Maddie, but then I'm just not mad. So I just don't get it.
Yeah, mad.
I don't know. They're trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I bet if somebody put $500, I bet you get serious real quick, won't you?
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah. See, trust me. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, Montana, it's going to be happening because I assure you. And Steve, who's making the match card? Because to have these ladies not be the main event is like they didn't get punched in the throat. Do you understand the magnitude of this? Like,
can I also speak on that? Sorry to interrupt. There was a podcast. No, because I'm fired up, and Steve knows how I feel about this kind of stuff. There was a
That's
podcast.
what I'm talking about. Let's go.
There was a No, because I want to expand women's arm wrestling, and I think this match is going to be the best one there. No offense to all the men, but there was a podcast last night talking about Montana matches for 2 hours and 46 minutes, and me and Jolene's match was only talked for 1 minute and 7 seconds.
Really?
Just saying. And Steve was the only one that talked about us.
What show is it? Hey, whoa. What show is this?
I'm not throwing any names, but you can say
no, hell no. That's some book. Listen.
I don't even know the podcast name. I was just mad because they put it in the group chat, and I was like, are you kidding me?
Listen.
Just saying. And I'm all the way in the back.
No, damn that. You do understand. I am the guy that tries as much as I can put the ladies out there. Candy, you can
100%.
attest to this. There's a reason why I got you on here. There's a reason why I got Jolene on here. There's a reason why I got Steve on here so we could talk about the match. Because I don't know, but last I heard, I saw the posters and stuff or the flyers, and I'm like going, man, they pull for $500. That's big time. 2 world champions pull for $500. How the hell does that not draw names? Why is that not the main event? Why don't he kind of just brushing over it? Wait. Okay, we're 54 minutes in. Bullshit. Okay, I'm calling it right now.
I'm like all the way in the back too with all the men. I'm like all the way in the back. So just want to throw that out there.
And here we go. See that? Nightmare goes, she's mad. She's the mad one. Okay. Do you? Okay, so this is what I like you because I'll say this because before this show started, Maddie's she's quiet, and I'm just kind of like I don't know how this is gonna go. It's my first time on the show. You went from doing that to like, listen, you did this, you got your finger up. I'm like, oh, it's about to get real now.
I'm
This is what I'm
Italian. I
talking
talk
about.
with my hands. But it just
As you
like
get,
we're trying to like everyone says they want to like expand the women arm wrestling, but then like you have to put the actions to it. And that's like what gets me so frustrated is because like I would love to pull more women all the time instead of traveling what 17 16 10 hours to go.
Yep.
Like so we have to make the women feel wanted and make them feel like, "Oh, well, I want to be in the spotlight too." So like it's like because that's what attracts people to the sport is they want to be in the spotlight. So that's just
so
my
let's
opinion.
touch base
So,
on that what you said because I want you and
Of course.
Jolene to have your 2 cents when I say this. As you know, I try so hard to push the ladies out there, not like push you, but like, hey, give these ladies some attention, right? I try to give you guys a platform and stuff, and I think some of the issues because again, you girls are always behind the 8 ball, okay? There are some situations out there where it does cater to you guys. So here, I'll give you an example. My boy Tim Talmadge, Arm Sports Entertainment. Any person knows if you go to his events, the ladies pull for free. Let's get that out there, right? We've had tournaments before, all women's tournaments. I think Sarah McKinney put that out there for a few years and stuff, but you got to show up. And I think, and now ever since the last 3 years, we've gotten this big boom now. So we got more ladies involved in the sport, which is good. It's awesome. But to get out there, they got to show up. I've seen, women win a bunch of money because only 3 women showed up. So you're guaranteed top 3. Now it's just trying to figure out what place you're going to come in. You got to show up. And, Jolene, you've been pulling long enough to understand what I'm talking about. You want to shed some light on that?
The women has always been few and far between. I'd go to Idaho, Utah. We pulled there when I was little, and then growing up, having a Facebook, Instagram, like then you realize. I didn't even know who Madison Walker was. Like that's just ridiculous. So it's just social media, and gotta learn to love it.
It can be good. It can be bad. I try to sit there and go, ooh, it's a good matchup. When I saw the matchup, I was like, all right. So what I did, I'd save the fire, I'm not going to, I'll just put it out there here and there. I'm thinking, let's get these girls on here so we can say, hey, put some spotlight on this match. But I had to make sure that the both of you girls had your schedules kind of clear. Hey, when can we do this? I'm glad you guys are able to do it at the same time because it might have been, it might have been Maddie this day. It might have been Jolene the next day or whatever the case may be. But I'm so happy that the 2 of you were able to clear your schedules to make this happen because I really want to put the spotlight on there. And I'm going to share the hell out of this show once we get done here. But Steve's been doing a good job, promoting this thing. Now, Steve, I don't know how many other guys matches because how many super matches do you have on the card that day?
There's 11 altogether.
How many matches have money involved?
Every single one of them. There's $5,500 on the line.
Let me take a sip of my coffee. Hold on for a second.
You know what? You're right.
Say that one more time.
$5,500 on the line.
$5,500. Okay.
you see why he's my agent?
I'm not going to ask where the money coming from. I just need to know this. You fronting the whole money?
No, a lot of it's coming from Mabel from Red Lake Studios, and I guess some from where we're actually getting the venue from too as well. So it's a portion of everyone really, but the majority of it is from them in general. They're putting up a big portion of it.
Oh, so you guys are sponsors then?
We have our sponsors that are pretty much, I'd say we got a lot of sponsors, for us that are going to help us out, that already helped us out, that we're going to be able to do this with, or else we wouldn't have been able to do all this with the party buses and making this a show and, obviously getting the mansion out there and, having this all live stream and filmed and everything. So it's a lot of it's coming out of my pocket too, to make sure that anything that has to be done. I don't want there to not be enough. So I want to make sure there is enough. And yeah, we'll say that much.
WOW. Wow. Think about that for a second. Each match got money on the line. I'm like, man, I'm telling you, no pressure though. It's a little different when you're playing with house money. And I don't mean to say that in a bad way, but it takes the pressure off. Oh, it's cool to win. Don't get me wrong. If I happen to lose, it's not that bad because it ain't coming out of my pocket. But you're playing with house money. All of a sudden, Maddie's got a little attitude now as the show goes on. Jolene has a little one-liner, that kind of stuff. So I could tell as we get closer, it's about to get more serious. And I'm telling you right now, everybody watching, be sure you make sure you share this video. Be sure you share the flyer over and over. They're gonna get sick of me doing this. I'm gonna say, hey, I don't think people really understand the caliber of this match. Because it can go either way. And like I said, I am not picking no sides. I'm just the host, it's hard for me to pick because it's like I see what both you girls bring to the table. I've seen it with my own two eyes. I've seen the training aspect of it. I understand that. Who you girls have pulled. Is there a common opponent you girls have pulled to where it links you two together? Do you know? By any means? Do you know?
No. I beat Nadia and Nadia beat Danielle. And I think Jolene and Danielle split. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But besides that, we don't really have a common person either. So
See, now Jolene's getting some love in the chat now. Oh, see, I forgot
we're on clock here.
because now all of a sudden it's 4:00 on the Mountain West time zone, so now everybody's going to chime in now. Oh, you see that? It's a time zone thing. That's all it was. It's a time zone thing. That's what it is. Okay, here we go. And we got Miss in the house. I'm sorry, I'm new. I can't understand everything. It's okay. You're new to the show. I get that. Welcome to the show. We talking arm wrestling. This is what we do. And I'm telling you right now, these ladies it's gonna be so strap match.
Do you know what number we fall in? Like, is there a certain order that the super matches go in?
Yes, let me ask you that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do it from 154 all the way up, and then the women's matches. So that's what I think that they're doing.
So we'll be last. There's one women's match.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
They better be the last match.
Yeah.
All right, here. How many world champions you got aside from these two ladies on the card?
We got a few actually. Yeah, we have.
What is it? World champion versus world champion.
No, not all of them are world champions.
Hey, that's a math problem, right?
Yeah.
That's easy. That's easy. Telling you.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, and I'm not trying to tell you what to do, Steve, because this is your show. Y'all got you guys have got the Lear jet already fueled up, ready to go next week. But the point I'm trying to make is that
they save the best for last, Madison.
See?
period.
Think about that for a second. Get the ladies out there, right? Put them on last. Because now Maddie got the little attitude now going on, which I like to see that. Because no. Don't be getting on. Oh my God. No. You just said, hey, I'm not Mad Maddie. And all of a sudden, wait a minute.
Because I don't like when people say something they don't do it. That's the only thing I don't like.
See, that's the fire I need to see out of you. That's the fire I need to see out of you. Jolene, I know all she got to do is flick on the switch. It's just game time. That's what I need to see out of you, though. Come Saturday, I need to see that fire. I want you, matter of fact, whatever show it was, since you don't want to put them on blast, and goddamn it, don't make me find out who it was. Take that, use that as motivation. Oh, so you're just gonna brush over us? All right, watch this. That's the kind of attitude you got.
Can I tell you what the worst was? This is when
Please do.
The attitude started. Is when I went to my first sit-down nationals, and the people didn't have the women's medal, like the label on the medal. So they were like, hold on, freeze. We're gonna write it in Sharpie. I was so mad. I go, excuse me, what? Like there was like 5 of us too. And my dad was like, "Oh, Maddie, please don't make a scene." I was like, "No, like that makes me mad because they promoted women the whole time, but then they didn't have like labels for us, so they wrote it in Sharpie."
I'm gonna say something real slow to make it sink in after what you just said. Okay, hear me out. Everybody in the chat, excuse my language. What in the actual fuck do you mean when you say they had a Sharpie? What the hell does that mean, Maddie? What the fuck is going on? Listen, okay? Y'all athletes just like everybody else, okay? First and foremost. Then they have the audacity to go, oh, well, they didn't have the medal, so let me go ahead and get a Sharpie. If that ain't the most disrespectful thing someone can do.
I said keep it.
What's that?
I said keep it.
Yeah.
I won first, and I was like, keep it. I don't want it.
Because it's like, hey, motherfucker, I won first. I ain't got nothing to prove. Well, here, just let me fix this up. No, 1,000 times no, right? Listen, doesn't matter. Athlete to athlete, right? Puller to puller. It don't matter. You go to a tournament, you get the same awards the guys get, right? If it's a cash payout, you get the same cash payout the guys get, first, second, third, where have you, okay? That is not how you get the ladies on the center stage with that kind of attitude, that kind of behavior. That's bullshit. I'm sorry, but I got to speak on that. You ain't got to mention their names, but that's probably one of the most fucked up things you can do, because here you ladies are scratching and clawing to get some recognition because, hey, we're athletes too. Why should we be treated any different? And here it is. Here's a prime example. That is fucking so disrespectful. That makes me sick to my stomach because that's bullshit. You already got that going behind you girls to begin with. And then you got to go above and beyond just to make sure someone pays attention to y'all. That's fucked up in my book. That's messed up. I said my piece. I'm off my soapbox now, so I had to say that. That's fucked up, But yeah, take that attitude, take it to Montana.
I'd be like, Jolene, we're putting on a show. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'll stop everyone and be like, it's not over yet. Turn around.
Get your ass back here.
Exactly.
See? There's Jolene. I told you, she got the one-liners, man. She was except her doing the neck thing. Because I'm going to tell you what. This is how it's going to go down. You want to know how exciting this match is? $500. Best of 5 right hand. Right hand, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's Maddie. She's going to come in here. Hair nice, silk. Jolene's going to come in here with a tan. And I'm telling you right now, when the two of y'all get to the table, it's going to be fireworks. I'm telling you. Bolt the table down because I don't know how much power is going to be on that table, but it's going to be a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And God forbid, we got straps, because if it goes in a strap, woo, man.
Yeah,
okay.
they have a really good production over there. Mabel and everybody that's in this and part of this. The production team is ridiculous. Camera crew, they're top notch. They're doing everything ESPN, camera style and everything else, from cameras from the bottom, from the top, from the side. So they have one hell of the crew, and they're using their whole camera crew to do this. And like they have their own walkout songs, so they have their own, names and stuff. So you'll see, I don't know if you've seen the production before. If you go to the M spot, and you'll see a couple different, I'd say they do super match almost every Saturday, whatever it was. Their production is top notch, I would say.
And does M stand for Maddie? The M spot? Is that what we're talking about? The M spot, the Maddie spot. Jolene's like, I am the spot. Whatever the case may be, to pump this match up, you say what you say, you do what you do. I'm telling you right now, man. Steve, can we make these two be the last match?
We'll see. Well, we'll see what they want to do, in general. I'll ask them to see if we can do, 150. I think we're doing 154 and then all the way up. And I think that's what we should do, have the girls be the last match. I mean, would be my idea. But I can talk to them, see if they want to do something like that.
Hey, if I'm in charge of this bad boy, y'all gonna be the last match.
Well, that was my idea. That was my idea too, to do that, to see if we can. So we'll see what happens.
Because I'm telling you, man, if I was in charge, that's exactly. I don't care. Hey, Jody, don't whisper in my ear, man. These world champions, respect. That's how it's going down, right? Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Maddie, how you feel?
Feel good.
Yeah. You got some of that sass out your pores. You feeling good now, right?
A little bit.
No. See,
Don't back
back.
I'm sorry. I just think I'm very like underestimated, and I'm excited to show what I have.
Okay, so being underestimated. That's where you got to go. All right, I'm gonna show you, and especially you down there.
Yeah.
Don't
I mean,
underestimate.
it's gonna be cool because I think Jolene has so much experience, and I'm still very new into the sport, so I think it's gonna be really interesting. I don't know. I'm excited.
Who knows? She might teach you a lesson. I know she's
She
teaching some
might.
guys some lessons on the table. That I know for sure. Trust me when I say
I
that.
love nothing more than beating men after pools, and then be like, "You're that strong." I'm like, "Yeah, like I work out just like you do."
Yeah.
So it's probably the best thing ever.
So here's the thing, and this is how I see this, and I could be wrong. Once again, not trying to give any secrets away. I see the power in Maddie. I see the speed and technique in Jolene. But they also can go like that. Okay? They also can go, they can switch, right? Like I said, this is just me seeing things from afar. You know, people underestimate Madison's power. Jolene, very savvy on the table, very smart, calculated. You really can't beat that. When you train with Bob Brown, you tend to do that kind of stuff. You are calculated. You know what to do at a moment's notice, right? Jolene, you know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, Bob Brown has, he has the barn. We all know about the barn, the infamous barn, right? X amount of tables in there. There's pizza and beer, but you guys are putting in the work. I've seen clips of that kind of stuff. Y'all ain't fucking, y'all actually putting the work in. And here's Jolie in the thick of things with some of the guys pulling Todd Zillow in town, Jordan Seal, Cody, Robert Baxter, whoever, putting the work in. And that's how you know, of a world champion caliber. Hell, you train with world champions. Do you not? Baxter, world champion. Bob Brown, world champion. Cody Merritt, world champion. Should I keep going? You see what I'm saying? So you know what you need to do to get yourself ready for a tournament, to get yourself ready for a match. You know what it takes. You've been to that mountaintop at a different country. Yeah, you got to kick us out of the bar in France, but you know what? I'm a world champion. You don't tell me what to do, right? You've been to that mountaintop. You got Maddie making noise. All of a sudden, it's like you said, I haven't heard of Madison before. Oh yeah, she's whooping everybody's ass in the East Coast, right? And she's making her way out to Montana, going, "Hey, you don't know me, you don't. But when I leave here, I guarantee you're gonna know who I am." That's the kind of stuff matches are made of, and when you two get on the table, it's gonna happen. You two, after what I just said, what's your response to that? Maddie, go first.
Oh, why do I have to keep going first?
Jolene is strong and balanced on the table.
I
See?
think you have to train with the best to be the best. And I have trained with the best, and they've trained with the best. So Bob Brown learned from my Uncle Mike. My Uncle Mike taught me everything I know. My Uncle Mike taught my
Oh,
dad.
damn. No, she's not just saying that. Everything Jolene knows, Bob Brown taught her, which means my uncle taught Bob Brown. Therefore, I got the leg up. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm just saying, I think I'm very underestimated.
I was just trying to here. What do you think,
I don't know.
Jolene?
I'm
I think it's going
excited.
to be such a good match. Honestly, this is probably going to be, if not, this is definitely going to be Maddie's biggest match. So
Yes.
don't count Jolene out. She's a fucking absolute beast. That's the reason why she got the call. I've been, I see a really good match between the both of you. Like I said, a 3-2. It's going to be close. But yeah. Like you said, I think it's going to be, speed and technique and then power with Maddie. So, but it's going to be, I think whoever hits first and gets there first, It's gonna be good. Probably, like I said, one of the best matches of the night.
Jolene, your response.
I'm just excited to pull. I don't really have anything else to say.
Uh-oh. Oh, he's like,
It's the silent
nothing to
kill.
say.
We'll see.
See, here's the thing. Jolene's laughing now. I guarantee you, once we get off this show, this is what's gonna happen. Ready for this? Watch this. Jolene's off the show. Husband walks in. Hey, babe, how was the interview? It was all right. So it's Friday. What do you want for dinner? You know what? I don't have time right now. After what she just said,
For your silly games, I'm be on the table.
Look, see, you got to get the head shake. You see that? This is what I'm talking about. Because here's the thing. The reason why I like this, because this going on right here on the show, it's a respectable, like, I'm coming to get you. It's basically what y'all saying, but you're saying in a respectful way. That's what I like. I'm okay with that because you're not disrespecting one another either. You're kind of going, hey, you know what? I respect you, but I'm taking your ass down. That's how it's coming down, Jolene's like, you know what? I mean, I'm just happy to pull. I'm going to fuck you up on the table, but I'm happy to pull. Whatever the case may be. And Maddie's like, hey, that $500 coming back with me. Whatever it takes. I know it's going to be an awesome match. So before we put a bow tie on this bad boy, closing arguments. Jolene, you go first.
Closing arguments.
Well, after all, you can't possibly agree with when she said that. When Maddie said, "Oh, well, man, Bob Brown taught Jolene, but my uncle taught, Bob Brown." That kind of trickled down. Thinking, damn, like she might have something like, "Hey, Dad, you taught Bob Brown. How's he pull? Because hey, let me know."
Yeah. I mean, I don't consistently work out with Bob Brown, so I pull everybody and I just give and take from whatever I want and keep the best. So
yeah, if it doesn't work,
yeah.
I got you. Maddie, what do you think?
I'm very excited to have a healthy competition because I just like being supportive no matter what, win or lose. I think at the end of the day, we're both going to go home with a lot of knowledge. And I just want either my name to be out there and Jolene's name to be out there. So regardless, that's who it is. So she's beat a lot of people. I beat a lot of people. So if she loses to me, the people that I beat are going to go after her and vice versa. The people that she's, so are going to go after me. So I think this is going to be very good exposure for both of us. And I'm excited.
I agree.
So go ahead, Steve. Any closing thoughts before you wrap this thing up?
I was going to say I agree 100% with both of them. It's going to get the exposure, both. And I agree. It doesn't matter really who wins or loses at the end of the day. They're both going to feel each other out and know who's better at the end of the day and what they have to work on if not. And, which it's you're going to get something out of it no matter what, and that's what's great about the sport. So either way, how it goes, both the girls I know are absolute beasts on the table, so I can't wait to see this match. But however it goes, you're both going to learn, win or lose. It's going to be something that you guys are going to be able to respect each other at the end of the day. So which is great.
And that's what I say. Sometimes I can be animated on my show. I can get a little loud. That's just my character. But all jokes aside, I would want to say this, ladies. I'm glad I'm saying in my I'm saying the things in calm voice. I'm serious. So I just want to say I'm glad you two got the opportunity. I'm glad Steve put you guys out there so that way you guys can really put on the show. And I think if the ladies are not watching, they're missing something special. They're missing something good because it's not often you get two world champions going at it. And Maddie, like I explained earlier, when you had Angie Rose and you had Jolene going at it at the Kennedy Boston Memorial, that story I told you, the energy of that match, that's what you're looking for. And Jolene's been there. And again, I can't thank you two enough for making this thing happen. Steve, I got to give you all the credit. You're bringing like, what, $5.6 million to the tournament, wherever the fuck it was, something like that. But you're bringing all this money to the tournament on every single match. And, you know what?
Not just me, it's the other guys too. I got to give them credit. They're putting up, the majority of the money. I'm just putting up the money for this match, and then also too, they're doing a whole production. So they're spending a lot of money too to put this together. It's not just me. They're definitely doing a lot. So I got to give them credit for that. And obviously, the exposure and everything else. It's going to be on MSOT live stream, so it's in general putting all these matches, then from 154 all the way up, and the ladies too. I'm saying every single match is going to be ridiculous, but this match in general with both these women being world title, I think it's going to be one of the best.
See that? And see, Jolene, you're not done. Look, you got Jocelyn, the powerhouse out of Ontario, Canada.
Name. It's a big name on your side.
There you go. So you got some love too. Canada's in the house too. But ladies, Steve, I really want to thank you for being this, because there was a point, and Jolene, you and I were kind of chatting about this, that you might have been busy. I'm thinking, all right, well, it might be 2 separate interviews, but to have both world champions on the show at the same time was just awesome. Everybody in the chat loves and adores you guys, whether it be the silk hair, whether it be the fact that how powerful both of you guys are. Hey, just want to say thank you very much. I'm looking forward to it. I wish it was tomorrow, but I know you got X amount of weeks. I'm assuming the training's done, right?
For me, yes.
Light on Monday, but that's it.
Cool. Not trying to tell you what to do, but I will give you some advice. You girls already know this, but just relax, because this is one of the big matches, and here we are. This is a very big deal. And who knows, maybe after the show on YouTube display on the table, and maybe all the ladies that are watching might go, huh? Hey, Steve, this is Jocelyn. I was just kind of curious. You never know.
Yeah, percent right.
You never know.
It happens all the time. So you're 100% right.
So everyone's gonna be what? Who knows? Maybe one day Steve might give me a call. Dude, Thunder, what you doing? I don't know. It depends on what we're talking about. You just never know. But I'm glad you guys are doing this. Once again, October 26th, Great Falls, Montana. Country Folk versus City Slickers. Pick a team, choose one. Let's have at it. Girls, thank you so much. Steve, thank you very much. You guys enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Safe travels, Jolene. Safe
travels.
You too. Thank you.
I'll see you guys.